ask whether this can be done or that cannot be done. Thank you very much, sir. This is possible only due to you. We are grateful to you. Thank you, sir. Our next speaker, Shangita, will speak about safe delivery. Shangita, please.
Now in this CME program, our topic of discussion is safe delivery. The largest rate of maternal mortality occurred during labor, births and 24 hours following the birth. To prevent this, we need safe delivery by skilled birth attendant. Safe delivery includes systemic supervision of a woman during pregnancy, identify the potential complication, active management of labor and immediate care to the newborn. Next, how we obtain safe delivery. Screening of high-risk cases, prevent, detect and treat the earliest any complication, educate the mother about the physiology of the pregnancy and labor so that fear can be removed and psychology can be improved, and discuss with couple about place, time and mode of delivery, provisionally and care of the newborn and need of family planning. Next is antenatal care. If we want a safe delivery, we should care the mother when she first diagnosed pregnant. It includes antenatal care and care during delivery. In antenatal care, first is antenatal visit. As per who minimum 4 visits is needed, first at 16 weeks of pregnancy, second at 24 weeks, third at 32 weeks, and fourth at 36 weeks of pregnancy. Generally, checkup is done at the interval of 4 weeks up to 28 weeks, at the interval of 2 weeks up to 36 weeks, then weekly up to delivery. Then history taking in pregnancy. Family history, medical history, surgical history, menstrual history and obstetrical history should be taken. After taking the history, we come to note about the expected date of delivery, contraceptive history, any high-risk pregnancy, and any alive or dead children and causes of death. Next is general examination. Head-to-toe examination is done. Weight and BP should be taken in every general examination, and many minor disorders can be detected during general examination. An examine of the breast for cracked and inverted nipple is necessary. Next is abdominal examination. Observe the sign of pregnancy, assess the fetal size and growth, assess fetal health, diagnose the location of fetal part is necessary. On abdominal examination, we include inspection, palpation and auscultation. Next is vaginal examination. It to be done before and during the labor to assess the assessment, dilution and engagement during the delivery. Next is antenatal investigation. Complete blood count, blood typing and grouping, PTRM, HIV, HbA1c, sugar, urine analysis and ultrasonography is done. Next is diet. Mother to be taken 2,500 kilocalories per day at least. And pregnancy diet ideally should be light, nutritious, easily digestible and rich in protein, minerals and vitamins. Mother take iron from 16 weeks onwards, followed by 4 mg per day from 4 weeks to 12 weeks. And calcium 1000 to 1200 mg per day. And vitamin D is also necessary in antenatal period, and it is found in egg yolk, fatty fish and cheese and milk. And weight. Normal weight gain in pregnancy is 11 kg. Next is antenatal hygiene. Proper bathing and maintaining of whole body cleanliness is necessary. Rest and sleep for about at least 10 hours per day is necessary. Bowel must be moved daily. This immunization. Mother should be properly immunized against tetanus toxoid. First dose at 16 to 24 weeks and second is after 1 month. Exercise. Exercise and recreation is very important during pregnancy. Ordinary housework can be done, but no lifting and pulling of heavy articles. Breathing exercise is preferred during the last 8 weeks of pregnancy. Slow continuous deep breathing is done with a relaxed abdominal wall. Special teaching. Women should be instructed to report if there is any vaginal bleeding, puffiness of face, severe or continuous headache, blurring of vision, double vision, dizziness, persistent vomiting, chills or fever, dysuria, and women should ask to avoid oiters during first and third trimester of pregnancy, traveling during first and third trimester of pregnancy, and smoking and alcohol. Last is psychological care. The addition of a newborn to the family affects not only the mother but also the father. So both parents should be encouraged to learn about their baby. The husband is the best person to support the woman during pregnancy and labor, and we must take care every opportunity to each individual. Next we come to labor. Series of events that takes place in the genital organs in an effort to expel the viable products of conception out of the womb through the vagina into the outer world is called labor. And labor is called normal if it fulfills the following criteria: spontaneous in onset with Vater's presentation, without undue prolongation, natural termination with minimal aids, without having any complication. Next is stages of labor. There is first stage, second stage, third stage, and fourth stage of labor. Next is nursing management of first stage of labor. From the onset of true labor pain up to complete dilatation of the cervix is the first stage. In primary habita it is 12 to 24 hours, and in multipara it is 6 to 8 hours. In nursing management, recognition of first stage is very necessary, and we can do it by abdominal and vaginal examination. On abdominal examination, uterine contraction will occur rhythmic and regularly, presence of abdominal tightening, presence of backache with contraction. And on vaginal examination, we found the cervix is shortened, show is present, the membranes will tense during its contraction, the os dilates progressively. Then observation to the mother. Vital signs should be observed. We should see the duration and intensity of the contraction, and hydration status of the mother should be observed, and dilatation of the cervix should be assessed. And observation to the fetus. FHS should be checked, status of membranes should be assessed, LICA should be checked, observation for the fetal distress should be done. If FHS is more than 160 or below 120, that means fetal distress is present. And passage of meconium stain amniotic fluid also we should check. Next is partograph. It is a graphic method of recording the silent features of labor. This is a tool for managing labor only. And on the partograph we charted the progress of labor, the fetal condition, and the maternal condition. It is a single sheet of paper, and it provides these details of necessary information at a glance. An antiseptic shaving is necessary in first stage of labor, and bowel must be clear, and catheterization is done if bladder is incompletely empty. In nutrition, small sips of clear liquid can be given to the mother, and we can establish a IV line. And if oral fluid is cannot tolerate by the mother, we can give IV dextrose. And analgesic can be given as advised, but if delivery is anticipated within 2 hours, no analgesic should be given. And we should assess the progress of labor by seeing the dilatation of the cervix, degree of flexion, caput formation, and color of lighter, and we should note the position. Second is the nursing management of second stage of labor. It begins when cervix is fully dilated and ends when baby is born. It is 2 hours for private habita, and for multi it is 30 minutes. It is very important for the nursing personnel to recognize the commencement of the second stage. There are many positive and probable signs that indicate the transition from the first stage to the second stage. In positive signs, on vaginal examination, no cervix is felt, and on probable signs, expansive uterine contraction is there, trickling of blood is there, rupture of membrane, gapping of the anus, presenting part appear, a caput may appear. Then position, dorsal position is given to the mother, and next is preparation for delivery. Once the head becomes visible, the mother should encourage for bearing down effort. Stabbing, we should do stabbing, put a sterile gown and mask, gloves, stabs on the right side of the table. Toileting this external genital area and near side of the thighs with cotton swab is necessary. Sterile sheet should be used under the buttocks and over the abdomen. Sterile leggings can be used. Catheterization is done if bladder is incompletely empty. Next is the conduction of delivery. There is 2 phases in conduction of delivery. First is delivery of the head, and second is delivery of the shoulder and body. In delivery of the head, some principles are maintained, that is maintain flexion of head, prevent early extension, regulates the slow escape out of the vulval outlet. Mother is encouraged for bearing down efforts while uterine contraction, which facilitates descent. When the scalp is visible for about 5 cm of diameter, push the occiput downwards and backwards by using thumb and index finger of the left hand while pressing the perineum by right palm with a sterile vulval plug. Once crown, episiotomy is given and the head is borne by extension. The baby's neck is checked for cord around it. If it is loose, it is passed to the head. If it is tight, then it is cut. And next is the delivery of the shoulder and the body. When external rotation of the head occurs, it shows that the shoulders are rotating internally. While waiting for this to occur, mucus from the baby's mouth and nostrils may be wiped with a gauze swab. Pressing the hand on each side of the baby's head over the ear, applying downward traction, the anterior shoulder is bald. The anterior shoulder slips below the symphysis pubis. The head is then guided in a upward direction towards the mother abdomen so that the posterior shoulder can escape over the perineum. As soon as the baby is born, the cord is cut, eyes are clean, airway is clear, and the Apgar score is noted. Next is management of third stage of labor. Position is given in the dorsal position, and third stage begins after the birth of the baby up to the expulsion of the placenta. An observation is done. The maternal status needs to be observed with BP pulse and consistency of the uterus. We should check. The uterus must have the consistency of a firm tennis ball. The size of the uterus after the birth of the baby, the fundus is 2.5 cm above the umbilicus. And we should check for amount of blood loss. The vulva is to be observed. For loss of blood, average amount of blood loss is 120 to 240 ml, and an increase in pulse rate is indication of blood loss. And for the delivery of the placenta, there is two ways. One is expectant management, another is active management. Expectant management is that delivery of the baby, then clamp, divide and ligate the cord. Next, wait and watch. In between catheterization of the bladder, if it is not empty, guard the fundus, wait for spontaneous separation of placenta. Then placenta separated, wait for spontaneous expulsion with the aid of gravity. If it is failed, then assist as expulsion. Next is active management. Nowadays, active management is done by giving injection oxytocin 10 unit IM or injection methadone 0.2 mg IM to the mother within 1 minute of delivery of the baby. And clamp, divide and ligate the cord. Then to deliver the placenta by controlled contraction. If fails, then repeat this procedure after 2-3 minutes. If it is fails again, wait for 10 minutes and repeat that procedure. If it fails again, then manual removal. Then after manual removal of the placenta, injection oxytocin is given 5 to 10 minutes slowly, IV or IM or methadone 0.25 mg IM. And placenta should be examined to make sure that no part is retained, and to inspect the vulva, vagina and perineum for any blood loss. Next is nursing management of fourth stage of labor. It begins after the birth of the placenta till 1 hour after the delivery. The fourth stage of labor, the stage of recovery, it is a critical period for the mother and the newborn because they are recovering from the physical process of birth. The management includes observation of and care of the mother and the baby. Observation of the mother is that vital sign, BP pulse should be checked, uterine flow, spinal position and height should be checked, and careful monitoring of perineum and blood loss should be checked. Intravenous fluid can be given if needed. Next is immediate care of the newborn. First is clear the air passage. As soon as the head is born, suctioning is done. Avoid deep suctioning with catheter. Hold baby with head lower at least 10 to 15 degrees. Avoid holding the baby by ankles upside down. Second is clamping and cutting the cord. Immediately after birth, place the neonate at the same level of the uterus till the cord clamp. Ligate cord 2.5 cm from the umbilicus and examine the cord for 2 artery and 1 vein. Next is Apgar scoring is done at 1 minute and 5 minutes. And care of eyes should be cleared with a sterile cotton. Attachment and warmth. For the attachment and warmth, dry the infant fast and place him on the mother abdomen covering the both and having skin to skin contact. Allow the mother to care and cuddle the baby. Encourage the mother to feed the baby as early as possible. A quick check is made to detect any gross abnormality. And this is all about the safe delivery. As most of the obstetric complications are unpredictable, timely life-saving support and intervention are must. Absence of skills increase the chances of casualty. The cesarean delivery is done when labor is contraindicated or vaginal delivery is found unsafe for the fetus and mother. Thank you.
Thank you, Shangita. Thank you very much. Since for safe delivery, nurses play a very important role. So, thank you very much for giving us in brief. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Shamantarai. Thank you very much. So, with this, we end our CME program.